from the Primal Audi Denver Team Camp in Moab, Utah. Welcome to the GCN Show!
Welcome to the GCN Show.
Coming up this week, does cycling help you live longer? Yes, it does, and we're going to go through 4 reasons why.
We've also got a second-hand skin suit auction, a Strava ride so fast it was flagged, a brand new cycling world record, and the reason why you should never,
ever
make your own e-bike battery.
No. Also, can I just say, we're t-shirt buddies.
Yes, I've finally got a classics t-shirt.
Finally.
Doesn't he look proud? Yes. This week in the world of cycling, we learned that Tadej Pogacar's star is continuing to rise after he became just the 3rd Tour de France winner in history to have also won the Tour of Flanders with an utter demonstration of power on Sunday's race.
Yeah, unfortunately for Pog though, someone flagged it on Strava. Although I noticed that it has now been reinstated, which I guess he just must have come up with some sort of proof that he did indeed
Yes.
do that ride. So we got a couple of KOMs as well for his trouble.
In the end, he did, yes.
Yeah.
Interestingly, or perhaps not,
Perhaps
he
not.
got the KOM up the Oude Quaremont on his 2nd time up it, and on the final time, when he rode away from everyone else, including, of course, Mathieu van der Poel, he was actually 14 seconds slower than that 2nd time up, showing that even the best can get a little bit fatigued after the fastest Tour of Flanders ever.
Yeah, so he is human after all. Just not really, no. Now, Van der Poel, actually, got to say, he said he didn't drop below 400 watts from the Paterberg to the finish, and yet he still couldn't catch Pog.
After 240 k's of racing or more. We also learned that while Wout van Aert missed the podium on the day, you can buy his used skin suit if you so wish. It's currently going for $673 as we record this.
Yeah, now I get that it's a collector's item, but also, that is really, really gross, isn't it? A jersey, fine. A skin suit, blah.
We also learned this week that Specialized new fitness hybrid bike has got a fairly significant bit missing, isn't it?
It does. Their designers have removed the seat tube, meaning that it looks pretty cool and is supposedly more comfortable, but I can't help but think that that bit was there for a reason.
Yeah, removing stuff you thought was important, I guess, could be the next big thing.
Well, that's
in the world
right.
of cycling, can we? Trek did it, didn't they, with their striking aero hole/A/hole on their Madon. And now Specialized, what's next?
Well, that's right. Maybe Bianchi will do away with handlebars.
Yes, well, some of their rides already have, I think. Right, dominating the headlines last week was the news that life expectancy in some countries is coming down for the first time in history. And it's coming down, unfortunately, rather rapidly at the moment.
Yes. We'll not dive into the reasons, because I'm not sure we're qualified, really, are we?
No, although that hasn't stopped us for a lot of other things in the past, has
That's a
it?
good point. But on the back of mine and Mark Beaumont's video where we went to check in with a team of top cardiologists here in the UK for an MRI and a general MOT, we thought we'd dive into a little bit more research into why cycling can help you live longer.
First up, though, does it?
Yes,
Yeah, we
yes
already
it
said that in
does,
the intro,
apparently.
didn't
Yeah, we kind of spoiled that. Never mind. One Dutch researcher, right, even went so far as to say that 1 hour of cycling adds an hour to your life. Although we should stress that that was looking at normal people as opposed to cycling addicts.
Yes, you're not adding 5 hours a day, so I know. However, a study from Sanchez Gomar et al. Into aging Tour de France riders, and by that we mean those who competed between the 1930s and 1960s, as opposed, not to me, but to Alejandro Valverde maybe, lived on average 17% longer than the average from the countries that they lived in.
Now that is a big stat, isn't it? Clearly you can't say that riding the Tour de France was the reason they lived longer, but it is a good stat, that, isn't it?
It is a good stat, and I think it's a stat that points to me outliving you, Si.
True. Yeah, what you can say though is that cycling for even a relatively short amount each week is hugely beneficial. So in a study published in the British Medical Journal.
One of my favourites.
Absolutely, yeah, well that is one of the big ones, isn't it? Commuters who cycle to work had a 41% lower risk of dying from all causes than people who drove or took public transport. They also had a 46% lower risk of developing and then a 52% lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease and a 45% lower risk of developing and a 40% lower risk of dying from cancer.
Quite the stats once you can get your head around them, aren't
Yeah.
they? Again, you can't say categorically that it's the cycling, so to speak, but the research pool was far larger, over 260,000 people.
It's a lot of people, and it's outcomes like that which explain that headline, doesn't it, of an hour of cycling for an extra hour of life.
Exactly that, yes. Now, one study that I found particularly interesting when I was researching earlier came from King's College of London, and that's because it looked into 2,400 identical twins, and it found that those who cycled just 45 minutes a week were 9 years biologically younger when compared to their identical twin who didn't ride 45 minutes a week.
It's almost hard to believe that 45 minutes a week can make that much difference, isn't it? Really hard. Anyway, another piece of research was published recently which shows that midlife cyclists preserve muscle mass better than untrained individuals.
Now, looking here at two midlife cyclists...
Speak for yourself, mate.
Well, I have to say, I'm not too sure about that one either. I looked at that paper and it said they did MRI scans on participants to look at muscle composition and size, but they looked at their pelvis and glutes.
I got big glutes.
You've also got big ankles, haven't you? But we don't know what they are made of.
That is a good point, actually, and I've got basically nothing else at all. But I do take your point, actually. I suspect that if they'd MRI'd our upper bodies, some kind of alarm bell would have gone off, wouldn't I? Like, warning, this person is not equipped for normal life.
Yeah. Apparently the most important gym exercise as you get older, Si, is tricep dips.
Why is that?
You never heard that before?
No.
It's so that you can get out of your armchair with enough strength when you're older.
I'm absolutely screwed. If I ever sit down, I'm never getting back up again.
I'm going to be absolutely fine, I think.
Whoa, check you! Oh my word!
Go on, give it a go.
I haven't got any arms on my stool.
Oh, no.
You
got out of that one, didn't you?
Dan's older, so he gets the backrest. I've just got to support my own body weight.
You'd be all right.
I think so.
As long as you leave your feet and therefore your ankles on the floor, so you don't have to lift up too much weight all at the same time. Now, that slight issue aside, you can see that the health benefits of cycling are indeed huge if you look at all of these studies. However, it feels callous if we don't address the fact that while at a population level the outcomes are really positive, there are tragic cases, aren't there, of people's lives being cut short whilst going out riding their bikes.
Yeah, I mean, it's heartening. I find it heartening to put those numbers into perspective by looking at the bigger stats, but there is definitely still a big job to do to improve safety out on the roads.
Yeah. But great that all the studies point to such a positive outcome when it comes to life expectancy, isn't it? And you can delve deeper and deeper and find more and more studies that all point towards the same thing.
Yeah. What's interesting though as well is that more is not better. So leaving that Tour de France cyclist one aside.
Did you tell Mark Beaumont this?
Yeah. The doctors told him and he was like, oh, right, oh, never mind. But no, that 45 minutes a week, like, you don't have to do much exercise in order to reap those benefits. And then beyond a certain point, you're cycling because you enjoy it and not because you think you're going to live longer.
I'll tell you one of the things that we always love here at GCN is we get so many messages from people that have either lost weight a huge amount or just got a whole load healthier by picking up the cycling bug. And like you said, it's not necessarily doing 5-hour rides every weekend or 20 hours a week. It's just from a few hours, even the 45 minutes that we said. If you've got any of those stories, we'd love to read about them in the comment section down below, because it's just always nice to read, isn't it? The effect that cycling has in a positive way on so many people.
Absolutely, yeah. Get involved in the comment section. Let us know what you think about that story we've just been talking about. And yeah, as Dan said, inspirational stories, always welcome.
Hack / Bodge of the week now. And the first one comes in from Mr. 24 Happy One. Inexpensive headset press. I needed to replace my headset but didn't have a press. 1 threaded rod, 3 nuts, 4 washers and a wrench, done for a fraction of the cost.
Tell you what, I love it when we get sent these by people who, it sounds like they have these kind of things just knocking around at home. We're like, yeah, I just dug out a threaded rod from one drawer and I got 3 nuts, 4 washers and a wrench, boom, done. Because like you found when you made your own chain whip.
cost more than a chain whip, didn't it?
It was more expensive than the real thing. But no, I mean, that's very cool, actually. Yeah, I got to say that's a hack.
That's a hack from me as well, and it's a hack from 82% of you.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that would work, wouldn't it?
He didn't say otherwise.
No.
No.
Fair enough. One of the things I do like about integrated headsets is the fact that you don't need headset presses anymore. Because I've never, in all my years of cycling, I've never owned a headset
I've never
press.
had a headset press.
So it was always that kind of thing where I've got to.
I just got to this point in my cycling life where I stopped buying tools. And initially that's fine because you're only missing one. And then before you know it, you're about 50 tools down for the job.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Anyway, what did you lot think? Whoa, 82% of you lot thought that was a hack. Deservedly so. No wonder he's happy.
I did just say that, but it shows how much you listen to me.
Sorry.
Right, next one. Barracoon bouncy seat. Saw this on a colleague's bike.
I'm listening to you intently now. Yeah, I like the look of that. I mean, I wouldn't ride it.
Why do you like the look of it?
Well, it looks like a fairly inexpensive way of adding a little bit of suspension.
Well, maybe, yeah.
So, you know, like I said, it was not for me. I wouldn't put it on my bikes, but that looks like a comfy seat.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great, Barracoon, if you could ask your colleague what they thought of it and if it actually works and is more comfortable. Mind you, they're going to say it is, aren't they?
They will. The only thing that I'm slightly wondering is if you get in an accident and you sort of like, you know, when you slip behind your seat, like because you're braking really hard or
And
something,
you find
and
there's
you
two
hit something.
prongs facing backwards.
Well, yeah, it's like that kind of prong bit might do you a nasty, mightn't it? But no, I like that. I'm going to give that.
You're going hack, are you? I'm going
Well, I
to go
think
Bodge.
I'm going to give it a hack.
I'm going to Bodge.
Are you going to give the results out this time?
Well, there's
Or you already done
do
that?
it, and I'll listen to you.
Okay. 24% of you lot thought that was a hack. So, yeah, Dan was in the majority there. Anyway, next one, Sandro Chiavaro. Aero windshield on my commute to work. Car drive, sadly. So, unfortunately, you're at quite a significantly higher risk of cardiovascular disease. But anyway, still time to turn it around. This person had a very unique custom setup. I can't imagine it'll help with headwinds. But there you go.
Yeah.
I've never seen a windshield on a bike before. I don't quite see
I
the
might
point.
have done, but I don't remember whether it might have been on a Hack and Bodge in a previous show or out on the road. But yeah, you probably would slow you down, but he's going to live longer. So.
That's right, yeah. Who's laughing now? Yeah, no, I'm going to say that's a bodge. Unless there's a legit reason why, but I just can't imagine.
I can't think of one. I mean, I can't think of one.
I like
Well
it's,
below eye level, isn't it?
it's like the fact that, well, they've got a visor extending down their helmet as well, so obviously don't like wind.
Who does? There might be a valid medical reason, some sort of eye problem that they've got that means that they try to keep as much air out of them as possible.
Well, maybe, yeah.
By the way, I'm going Bodge.
Yeah, okay, me too.
As are 79% of you.
79% of you thought that was a bodge.
We're going to finish on quite a scary one from Adre Hansel. Found this. I don't know. I mean, it's pointless trying to do an accent when I've got no idea how to pronounce it in the first
It
place.
sounded plausible.
Anyway, found this, and as an engineer, I admire the idea. However, the execution seems a bit clumsy and unsafe. Just check out the saw teeth on the far left.
Whoa!
You wouldn't want to be in a bunch with them, would you? Peloton.
Oh my word, talk about getting an injury from slipping off the back of your saddle. What on earth? I mean, I bet, would that even work?
Yeah, I'd rather ride the ad hoc cycling seat suspension
I would.
Bodge than this one.
I can think of better ways to make yourself an e-bike. but,
I'm going Bodge.
Yeah. I tell you what, if that worked, I mean, drills go pretty quick, don't they?
They do, yeah.
So, I mean, that would get you up to some serious speed.
They probably would do, yes.
So,
with some hazardous potential side effects.
do you know who might like to try making that? I'm not going to say Hank. That's Alex Payton.
Would he?
Yeah.
For Hank to ride.
Yeah. On that note, we should probably draw a close to Hack or Bodge.
Don't forget to continue to contribute to this point in the show by either voting Hack or Bodge over on the app to those that have already submitted theirs, or by submitting your very own.
And now it's time for cycling shorts.
It's now time for cycling shorts. So I'm going to start with news of cycling shorts with an update on the Wout van Aert skinsuit auction.
Yeah, cycling short attached to the top. We think that they're still at $673 as we record this.
Well, a few days left, Wout. Don't you worry.
Do you know what? I'm going to leave my bid until the last possible moment because I do not want to push up the price unnecessarily early. Next, just in case you're wondering whether to go ahead and make your own e-bike battery, don't.
No, a man in Australia was captured on camera at the exact moment that his homemade battery started exploding between his legs as he ran.
Should not laugh.
We shouldn't, no.
It was quite the fireworks,
Yeah.
though, wasn't it, going off there? Speaking of safety, let's reignite the helmet debate, shall we?
Yay! We need helmets for this segment, actually. The American College of Surgeons has reiterated that they support compulsory helmet use, citing research that says that they reduce the risk of head injury, that's helmets, by the way, by 48%, traumatic brain injury by 53%, facial injury by 23%, which is still confusing, and fatal injury by 34%.
However, they have softened their stance slightly to reflect that making them mandatory unfairly penalises certain groups of people, particularly those from low to no income households who use bikes as a mode of transport.
Yeah, now good that they have softened their stance, but I still disagree with them. I've got to say, mandatory helmet use decreases the number of people cycling, which increases other health risks, as we've just heard.
Yes, at the start of the show. Save your brain, but die of cardiac disease is basically what they're saying.
Yes.
What a delightful topic that was anyway.
It was, yeah.
We'll look forward to reading the comments. Let's move on though, shall we? And celebrate someone who lived a happy, healthy and very full life, but who sadly passed away just last week.
That's right, Hugo De Rosa, founder of De Rosa Bikes, one of the heart-stoppingly beautiful Italian heritage brands, lived to 89. He began building racing bikes in 1953 as a teenager and had Eddie Merckx in his long list of clients over the years.
Yes, De Rosa, the brand, lives on though under the stewardship of his 3 sons.
Yeah. Now, next up, the record for the greatest distance ridden in a single week has just been broken. A Belgian by the name of Mathieu Bon, I should say, rode 3,619.72 kilometres.
Although Belgians might know him better for his appearance in a reality TV show where 14 people ended up trying to complete Belgian Special Forces training, should I say?
Yeah, which sounds like something we should get Hank to do.
What, the record or Belgian Special Forces training?
I was meaning the Special Forces training. I wouldn't wish that record on anyone.
3,619 kilometres.
No. So Bon spent 20 hours a day on his bike at an average speed of 30k an hour.
Wow. It was a really hot thing, wasn't it, a few years ago, that week-long record, but it's glad to see someone's now broken it again.
Oh, I think someone did it, there was a British bloke did it in Florida. Was it before Christmas? He got caught up in like a bunch of
I
storms.
just remember a spate of attempts of the week-long record, not long after we started here at GCN.
I guess it's one of those things, isn't it, where like someone does it and you go, well, that looks like a relatively easy mark. I might have a pop at that. And then a load of people do it, and then eventually someone goes, oh, that sounds quite unpleasant. 20 hours a day at 30k
Again,
an
I mean,
hour.
that's the thing with records, they get increasingly unpleasant, particularly those like that, don't they? I don't think there's anything that I would wish to do for 20 hours in a single day, every day for a week. I mean, if I was to choose something, I'd probably go for sleep, but I think I'd struggle.
Even that would get a bit punchy, wouldn't it? Right, now a quick shout out to a book release coming up this week, right? So we were out filming with Simon Warren a couple of weeks back. He is the creator of the 100 Climbs series of guidebooks, and his latest is the 100 Climbs Spain, and it comes out on Thursday this week.
And as the title suggests, it's a compilation of the 100 best cycling climbs in Spain to either work through and tick off, or to guide future cycling trips that you might be wanting to take.
That's right. Now, whilst we are talking about stuff for sale...
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Finally. Right, it's like basically... What have we got? We've got a week left of the Cobble Classics. Finally, someone's decided that I'm allowed to have a t-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, but lucky you, really. If you would like to get your hands on one, go over to shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com. This is in celebration of l'Enfer du Nord, the Hell of the North. Speaking of the Hell of the North, we have 2 editions of Paris-Roubaix coming for you this Saturday and Sunday. So it's the 3rd edition of Paris-Roubaix Femme avec Zwift on Saturday. Live coverage from 2 p.m. BST, so British Summer Time. And then full coverage of the men's race on Sunday, starting at 9:30 in the morning. Not because we don't want to show you all the women's race, but that's all that's supplied by the race organisation at the moment.
That's right. We have a preview coming out over on GCN Racing, don't we, later in the week. One of the hot picks in the women's race, Lotte Kopecky, she stormed Tour of Flanders, didn't she?
Yes.
She was looking on another level.
Yeah, she dropped her 2 teammates first, and then finally Sylvia Persico on the lead into the win. Just one more plug for what we're doing, because I got to go over to Ireland at the start of this year and visit Sean the King Kelly and look at his trophy/jersey room. It's unbelievable what he's won. I mean, other racing that we've got on this week includes the Tour of the Basque Country, which you can watch live worldwide. I should point out that Paris-Roubaix does have some territory restrictions. Sean Kelly, on 2 occasions, did the Tour of Flanders on Sunday, started the Tour of the Basque Country on the Monday, won stages and the GC of the Basque Country, and then won Paris-Roubaix on the Sunday after 1 day's rest/travel. 1984 and 1986.
If there was a man,
Tadej Pogacar, eat your heart out.
yeah, if there's a man that would have been up for the 7-day-a-week record, I mean, 20 hours a day would be nothing to that
Yes,
man, wouldn't
exactly, yes. Also, he claims to have made these very nice scones that he gave me on the morning that I went to visit him. Go and check out the documentary and see for yourself whether you think he's still claiming it to this day. I just don't believe him. I don't believe him.
It's time now for Caption Competition, that part of the show where you get a chance to get your hands on a coveted GCN Elite water bottle.
Still the standard ones as we speak.
Well,
Wait
yeah.
for the gold ones.
Well, hang on a minute. News on that coming up. But anyway.
Is there? You kept that quiet.
Oh, yeah. Should we results first?
Just
to break from tradition.
Yes. This was last week's photo of Wout van Aert on the E3 Saxo Classic podium, and our winner is Big Bodge S. Caption: after the UCI bans the Super Tuck position, Wout van Aert adopts the Super Duck position on the E3 Aralbeek podium. Double pun there.
Beak, yeah, nice one. I like that. Do love a good pun.
Yes.
Well
done, Big Wash. Get in
Big
touch
Wash, yeah.
on Facebook with a message to GCN and your address, and we'll get a bottle out to you. Right, this week's photo comes from the Tour of Flanders men's race on Sunday. I'm going to get you started.
Go on, mate.
A bunch of cyclo-tourists get in the way of Greg van Avermaet on the Tour of Flanders up the Koppenberg. Might need some explanation.
Well, it does, yeah. I mean,
this
they don't look
caption.
like cyclo-tourists.
Some of you may have seen on social media last week that in a Belgian national newspaper, there was a picture of Wout van Aert and 1 or 2 of his Jumbo-Visma teammates, and the caption read, Wout van Aert held up by cyclo-tourists on Koppenberg at the Tour of Flanders, the Ronde van Vlaanderen, but they weren't cyclo-tourists, they were 2 professional riders from the women's Ceratizit team. Ooh. That's how little they know about women's cycling at that particular, or that particular journalist, shall I specify, at that newspaper. But it got through the editor.
Yeah.
And everyone else.
That's terrible. Okay.
It was really, really bad, yes.
So we see what you did there with that caption.
Yeah, drew attention to their lack of want to watch women's racing, because I mean, I think most of us watching this that have watched pro cycling would know the Ceratizit team.
Yeah.
You've only got to look at how professional the kit looks and that it's all the same from top to bottom. Anyway.
Crazy. All right.
Feel free to go for a far funnier caption this week underneath this photo, or in the comment section, shall I say, underneath this video. Gosh, I can't even get my words out. And we'll pick a winner this time next week.
Okay, you ready for this, mate?
Crikey.
Woohoo! Look at that. Bling!
Of course, it's got a bit of substance to it, that as well.
Yeah, it has, yeah. So this is a new exclusive Elite thermo bottle with most...
I'm just noticing this, yes.
Not all GCN signatures on there.
Are they? Does it come with them on, or have you been asked to?
It comes with them on. They just said they wanted all the GCN presenters of note.
No one even asked.
Well, you got a T-shirt instead, didn't you? Anyway, basically this...
I mean, if you do win one, feel free to ask for me to add my signature on.
But anyway, we've been told that this bottle, which has got quite a value to it, is going to be available to award to people that have done special achievements in cycling.
Oh, right.
And it's up to our discretion as to what they are. How cool is that? So if you think you've done something pretty cool, it could be like a charity bike ride, it could be, I don't know, incredible piece of Strava art that says Dan Lloyd is the best, or anything along those lines. You can
You'll definitely get a bottle.
get in touch, and yeah, these can be sent out to you. So there we go, look at that.
Well, I've won the New Forest Boxing Day 10. So I'll have the first one.
Was that last millennium?
No, I think that 2009 maybe. The last one. I don't know.
You turned up riding a Velo testing kit.
Yeah, I mean, most people use fancy dress, but I wasn't quite course record. But I came dressed up as a professional cyclist in a skin suit.
Cyclo-tourist takes the.
Not one of the skin suits I auctioned off. I did auction a few off in my time, but yeah. Anyway,
unused though, I think.
Should we get an update on Wout van Aert's skin? Still the same. Yeah. So anyway, we've blathered on as per usual.
We have
Put your captions in the comment section down below and let us know anything amazing that you've done to do with cycling that might warrant us gifting you this fantastic bottle with some people's signatures on it. Ahead of us, letting you know what we've got coming up on GCN this week, some favourite comments from last week, starting with this from Rick underneath last week's GCN show, Rick Hellard. Skeptical Simon would be a fantastic series of videos to make. Start with the disc brakes and then go to handlebar bags next, and then could go anywhere, particularly given that you're now middle-aged. Racing grumpy.
Yeah. I'm not grumpy about it very much when it comes to cycling.
No. Well, you might have been if you looked at the comments underneath last week's show, because there were a lot of angry people about you saying that Wout van Aert should not have given away the Gent-Wevelgem win.
Well, yeah, and I'm happy to disagree with all of you lot as well. Brian Donovan, I thought it was a classy move by Wout. Cycling is a team sport, and honouring the team commitment deserves more respect than it's getting. Cycling Wanderer, no need to disparage Wout van Aert's truly commendable gesture towards his steadfast teammate Laporte when offering him the victory. But I still disagree with you. I'm really sorry. It's not that it was a nice gesture for sure, but it was disrespecting the race, which is a really prestigious race. And also, I think it kind of disrespects Laporte because he's a legit rider that's won big on his own right.
Well, he won big about 3 days later.
Well, exactly. He didn't need a gift from Wout van Aert. It's just.
Most of his wins since he joined Jumbo-Visma were gifts from the. Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration. He got that Paris-Nice stage that was gifted to him from Van Aert and Roglic.
Yeah.
On that occasion.
The Tour de France.
I don't think he'd ever won a World Tour race before that. I might be wrong, but I seem to remember he hadn't won a World Tour race, so that was a really nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Now he's won a big one-day race as well.
Stage of the Tour de France. That was all
maybe
him.
Van Aert negotiated a proportion of his newly negotiated contract, Christophe Laporte.
Well,
because a Gent-Wevelgem winner is going to get a significant increase in pay, you would have thought.
Yeah. I have a feeling Wout van Aert might be regretting it anyway after fourth and fifth.
Well, to be honest, I think he regrets racing Gent-Wevelgem. 260 kilometres in the pouring rain on a very cold day as well. It wasn't sort of mild and rainy. I thought at the time, like, that level of effort for that long in those conditions, it can't do wonders for your form, and if anything, it's going to make it worse.
Very good point there, actually, isn't it?
I mean, that's why I didn't win the 2009 Tour of Flanders, because there was a very long, wet, cold Gent-Wevelgem that year.
Was there?
It was 3 days after the Tour of Flanders, but nonetheless.
Excellent. Right then, also, we've got to give a shout out to, is a gravel bike better than a mountain bike? Manon teamed up with Anna from GMBN, and a lot of people thought it was absolutely brilliant. Fang XX456 said great duo right there, and Labour Rhabarber, I had to look twice, I thought it said rhubarb, whether gravel or mountain bike makes no difference. The main thing is to be out in the fresh air and on a bike. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you for that.
No, I'm not disagreeing either. Tall versus small, how much difference does body size make for cycling? Cloudy Monday said, love this, and as a tiny rider, I ride a 44cm bike. It's something I've often wondered about. Would love to see more Max on the show. Not more Connor, didn't specify. Fingers crossed he gets his team. Whilst Tom Vanderbilt wrote, what about descending? Does Connor's weight give him an advantage? Straight descent versus curvy. Does Max's lower centre of gravity help him corner better? Inquiring minds need to know. But I don't think we've got the answers right here, right now to any of Tom's questions, but it does give us some ideas for future videos.
It does, doesn't it?
Talking of which, on Wednesday, we are going to tell you how to get over a plateau. They can be horrific, aren't they? We've gone so deep on the climb that when it starts to flatten off, you've got zero left zero power left to actually up your speed.
I think it might be training plateaus.
Okay.
They could be horrific as well, mate.
I'd say let's take that bit out of the show, but I know you're going to leave it in. All right.
Yeah, we'll leave it
How
in.
to get over a plateau in training.
Which is going to be really horrific.
Even Isaac behind the camera is sniggering, trying to keep it silent. I've also, just to get me back on track, and I'm not going to hear the end of it anyway, am I? No, I'm not going to hear it. But we've also got a Paris-Roubaix preview show. It might be out today if you're watching this on Tuesday, but if not, it will be out tomorrow on Wednesday. Whilst on Thursday, we have got a Paris-Roubaix recon.
Well, yeah, we're kind of going Paris-Roubaix crazy this week, aren't we? We were super excited to have Mitch Docker join us a while ago to film some great videos about Paris-Roubaix. It's his favourite race. He did it like 11 times, didn't he, as a pro? Anyway, so we got a Paris-Roubaix recon ride where he teams up with 3 World Tour hitters to find out a little bit more about the route. We got one about Les Amis du Paris-Roubaix, so the little squad of people that go around basically making sure the cobbles are up to scratch, but not too
Translated
good.
as the Friends of Paris-Roubaix, isn't it?
Well, that's right, yeah.
Keeping you up to scratch, I want to say.
Basically, yeah, but not too good. And then also the history of Paris-Roubaix as well. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday as well. But there is also other videos too, if Paris-Roubaix isn't your thing. Alex goes com hunting with Andrew Feather.
Oh?
Yeah, so that's on Sunday.
I wonder if Alex gets many. Great idea for a video about how to get over a plateau.
Oh, it is, yeah. Let me just write that one down.
Yeah, write it down, Si. That'll be coming to you
How
soon.
to get over... I don't think I've ever really ridden on plateaus. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we should probably leave the GCN show there for
Probably, yeah. Of course, don't forget to watch Paris-Roubaix, like Dan said. But
if it's available where you are. If
Yeah.
not, we will have short highlights available to watch worldwide. Cannot wait for the Hell of the North, though. 2 of them, Saturday and Sunday.
What a weekend.
Right, thanks for watching. Good luck in attempting to get your hands on a gold water bottle, minus my signature, and we'll see you this time next week.
I thought you were going to say good luck getting over that plateau.
That too.
One of the hardest things to
I was really selling it.
Yeah, you were.
I was
Yeah.
selling it.
I bet there's going to be a lot of disappointed people. Why is it not about plateaus?